Welcome to News Strip Down. News where I go digging through the news, find all the good stuff that's out there without all the BS and Epstein stuff. Just got to do a quick check here. Check. Do this. There we go. Today is Friday the 13th, 2026. It's okay, it's Friday the 13th. We only have two more of these for the rest of the year. Okay, we got one more in March and we got one more in November. So don't worry, the day is almost over. And if you're worried about something bad happening to you, just don't go anywhere. It's Friday night. Still, the night is young. So it is minus 2 degrees Celsius in southwestern Manitoba. It is 28 degrees Fahrenheit for you guys down in the States, or for anyone who uses Fahrenheit. And off to news. The UN is talking about some financial problems again. This was brought up 2 weeks ago, and the UN was announcing facing financial problems due to some UN members not paying their dues or paying their dues on time. Trump 2 weeks ago said that Canada needs to pay their dues to the UN, where Canada snapped back the next day instantly, stating that we have been paid up to date on all UN bills as of 2026. Now, news breaking today, the US owes over $2 billion to the UN in unpaid fees. Maybe Trump, you should worry about what your own country's doing with the UN instead of what Canada's doing. We're up to date on our bills. You go pay your own bill. And then yesterday, the US Senate voted to remove the tariffs, the 50% tariffs on Canada. This is just a vote. It doesn't mean anything. It just shows displeasure in the actions that Trump is taking towards certain countries. Canada was the only one on that bill. Brazil was supposed to be on that vote as well. I don't know what happened with that, but that's interesting. And speaking of that, an F-35 crashed today, or yesterday, sorry. On just a routine landing, coming on a horizontal landing, just routine. Apparently it looked like the throttle got stuck. Kind of lost control of the aircraft, kind of like tilted over to one side. And once it started getting upright again, pilot ejected. He seemed okay. And most of this, is has been some type of technical error. None of them out of all. Okay, get this. Just give me a second here. Or is that the next page? I got a bunch of stuff on this jet. Yeah, where's my numbers for this? Where did I write them? Okay, I'll just finish this and I'll jump back. Sorry, you guys. So Carney's now saying he might put a hold on some of those jets or just take half of that order. So I think there was a projected amount of 14 of these F-35s that were supposed to be being delivered to Canada. And now Carney's already put money down. As of yesterday, there was an announcement saying that he is still putting money towards these jets, but now he's thinking about cutting that order in half. And the reason for cutting this order in half is these Saab jets are actually looking pretty good right now. And especially after with all these crashes with these new F-35s. What is it? I think there's been 12. Just give me a second. Let me find this. Where did I put that? I know I wrote it down here somewhere. Okay, so over the last 6 years, they've had 12 crashes. 12 crashes, and out of 11 of the crashes, it was technical error, never pilot error. And I'm assuming that this 12th crash that just happened the other day is going to be technical error. So like other countries thinking about buying these F-35s, there's been 4 12 crashes in 6 years. Think about that. And it's all mechanical issues, not pilot error. Do you want your pilots flying these things now? Like that's ridiculous. That's a bad percentage right there. That's like almost that's two planes a year. Like really think about that. 12 jets crashed in 6 years, two a year, all because of mechanical failure. Uh, Mexico has delivered aid to Cuba even after worries of U.S. Relations uh, retaliations on more tariffs against them. I guess China or Mexico went over there, secretly dropped off some supplies and stuff like that. They're trying to keep it under the radar, but no such retaliations for giving Cuba aid coming Mexico's way that I see of yet. But the day is young still. We'll see what happens tomorrow. And over to Canada, Premier Rob Ford has canceled his plans to remove Crown Royal from Ontario shelves. He didn't back down. Crown Royal ended up giving up to Rob Ford. Crown Royal is planning on spending $23 million in the province of Ontario, possibly building new distilleries as well. But I wouldn't say that's a win for Crown Royal, and I wouldn't say it's a win for Canada. And Rob Ford, you're still on my shit list, man. Uh, And over to the States, talking about Mexico and other things right now. Trump administration is working on expanding its efforts to strip citizens that are not American born. Oof, that's a good way to get rid of your wife, bud. That's a good way to get rid of your wife. Now think about that. That's unreal. Oh, sorry, I'm dancing back and forth here. Back over to Canada, Volkswagen is continuing with a battery factor in St. Thomas, Ontario, capable of manufacturing up to 1 million electric vehicle batteries per year. And there's still more talks of Asian car markets coming to Canada. Right now, there's just more talk, not a real big thing, but by the looks of it, this Volkswagen battery facility is 100% go. Don't know when the shovel's going to hit the ground, but we'll probably hear that within the next week. Uh, Over to Belgium. Belgium's going to be building a new experimental nuclear reactor. Is going to be using liquid lead to cool it. And the benefits of this type of reactor that they're going to be testing at the Belgian Nuclear Research Center, it's supposed to use or create less waste, which is a growing concern in Europe on growing facility or not enough facilities to store this spent waste after. Sellafield is probably getting pretty full by now, if not full already. But yeah, limitations on storing spent fuel rods is definitely a growing global issue, and switching to some different form of nuclear reactor that saves on spent fuel rods or has less waste is probably good for the world. Sorry, just make sure I didn't miss anything. Oh, Canadian news again. Calgary company, as the U.S. returns to oil fields in Venezuela, Canadian oil company Ensign Energy Services has been there for almost 20 years in that volatile country, still operating, having a couple wells running constantly, and yeah, over 20 years being there. I don't know, what did Canada do so good? What did this Calgary company do so good to, be left alone by the Venezuelan government? And then Canadian gun manufacturer Cadex Defense found some images online of Russian snipers using one of their precision sniper rifles. Uh, This gun was purchased from Cadex in Montreal or in Quebec to a U.S. Gun store. Then this gun store sold it overseas, and now it's somehow in Russian hands. There is some clackback here about Canadians funding some right wing Russian separatists that have an agenda, but that is not the truth. What they should be looking into is where the gun store that purchased these firearms and why they shipped these firearms overseas and what countries did they go to after that. So that's just unreal. And Wendy's burger franchise, love Wendy's. If you want a bacon mushroom melt all the time, get like a son of baconator, plain, add cheese sauce. It's like a bacon mushroom melt, just minus the mushrooms. You get it all year round. But Wendy's is going to be closing 40 locations across the United States, and it's already started happening, but this should be completed by the fourth quarter of this year. So we're looking into probably October, November by the time So if you guys like your Wendy's down in the States, start showing your love now. It's not going to help. I think some receiverships have already come into play. We'll talk about this one later. That's kind of a end topic. And refurbished nuclear plant here in Canada in Darlington, Ontario, is ready for reactor mock-up tests right now. Uh, I think it was a quick build. I think it was over around 2 to 3 years to refurbish this nuclear plant. Refurbish its 4 nuclear reactors. So mock-up tests will start being conducted, and I'll let you guys know when full startup starts with that, because that's a big thing for Canada. Because the reason they refurbish this plant is to remove some of the coal plants here in Canada. So, and these coal plants have already been shut down, decommissioned. So there has been a growing demand for energy for sure across Ontario, especially alternate resources. Hydro isn't always good. Manitoba last year and this year did have a water shortage, so that did deplete some significant amount of power throughout the province and down into the states. Um, didn't really see it much in the bills, but yeah, definitely some shortages across Manitoba, even Ontario and Saskatchewan. German counselor over to there. German counselor Frederick Merz is also kind of saying a narrative that Jean Chrétien and Stephen Harper were saying during a conference that they're at. Stephen Harper saying, the big shift. He was talking about like globally as a world, the uh, the big boy games are over, or the big boy club is over, I believe is what he said. It's end let's end the game with the big boy club. And then Mertz also kind of stating the same thing. Prepare for like a deep divide here. Like the rest of the world seeing what's happening. I think Mertz is really trying to push forward the agenda that we need to start looking towards other countries for resources and to get our resources out as well. But yeah, this same kind of rhetoric happening back forth. Jean Chrétien as well, talking about like uh, the way the world works. It's the world order doesn't exist anymore, and same thing from Mertz himself, in more or less words. Back to Canadian guns. This is interesting. Anyone who participated in the gun buyback program, there was a data breach. Don't know how many files were leaked, but just letting Canadians know, if you were a part of that gun buyback program, or I believe they hit the whole gun registry. I don't know 100%, but if you're a gun owner right now and you have records with the federal government, to do be warned, your account and your file could be compromised. Yeah. So that Canadian gun buyback program isn't working out so good, eh? Like nobody wants to participate. The money they're handing to people for these guns is it's not worth the even close to the amount of some of these guns, and the guns they're taking back are useless. Like a goose gun, a single shot goose gun. Really, you're gonna ask me to bring that in? Like, who am I gonna rob with a goose gun? A goose gun's like 6 feet long. You'd like run into the 7-Eleven doors with that thing. So yeah, this buyback program's just definitely not working. And then with this data breach that they had now, really not looking good for them at the end of the day. That can't be everything for today. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, pretty crappy for the gun buyback or the gun owners across Canada having your data breached. So yeah, all your information's out there, your home address, your phone number, everything that all those good cyber criminals want from you. Oh, okay, a little fun fact here. Anyone know that Canada had different colored passports? Well, they do now. Canada is going to be doing separate passports. You can still have your classic green, but there's going to be two other colors. There's going to be one if you're like a refugee or a new immigrant to the country, your passport will be a different color. And if you have certain types of businesses that you have to travel back and forth in between other countries, you're going to receive a different color passport as well. So as far as I know, there's only going to be the three colors, but isn't that going to create some confusion internationally? Like, say I go there with another Canadian and I have a green passport and he has a red passport. You know, wouldn't that create some concern at customs and international crossings and stuff like that? And these passports, what I've looked into, it has nothing to do with this digital ID. It's just they're going to separate colors for some reason. I wonder how many millions of dollars the federal government's going to dump into that so we can have different colored passports. And then what does that say? Like, if you're a Canadian citizen, whether you're born here or not, why should we have separate colored passports? You know, do you think somebody like, and when I land in Texas, somebody's gonna like, I have a red passport. Oh, I'm gonna get an express line? No, it's not gonna work like that. Oh, and then today in history, and remember, today's Friday the 13th. There's only two of them left. Two left. Okay, there's one in March and one in November. So we only got two more left. So don't freak out, you guys, if you're superstitious. So today, Friday the 13th, in 1689, English Parliament adopted the Bill of Rights, giving Parliament more power and limits the Crown, kind of allowing the Parliament to become what it is today, a giant cluck house, you know, cluck, cluck, cluck. It's like watching The View. It's fun to watch sometimes, but, you know, what do they really do in the Senate and in Parliament? They just sit there and yell at each other back and forth and actually really don't accomplish anything. Like if they could just abolish that. I remember Trudeau stating that he was going to abolish the Senate here in Canada. Yeah, so much for that. And then today, February 13th, 1996, Death Row Records released Tupac's fourth studio album, All Eyes on Me. Great freaking album. Still listen to Tupac. Real rap, real stuff. And yeah, some real stories behind his music as well. And then February 13th, 1920, baseball's Rube Foster created the Hey, trust me, this is totally true. The Negro National League created the Negro National League, creating the first baseball team that consists of all African Americans, which is pretty interesting. But that's what it was called. The NNL is what it was called, the Negro National League. And then today's birthday is Chuck Yeager's birthday today. He died in 2020, born in 1923. Chuck Yeager, famous pilot. And then Waylon Jennings died today, February 13th, 2002. Waylon Jennings. Oh man, some of those Waylon Jennings stories where he's like in the studio and stuff with the nose powder and oh man, that guy knew how to party. Yeah, yeah. Thanks, James. So yeah, that's pretty much it for today. Anything I want to rehash? Not really right now. I'm gonna do a live after chat of the things I won't talk about that were in the news today, right here. Like this is just basic news, no drama, no nothing. I was gonna talk about some thing in history that happened, but that's kind of the same relevance of what happened in BC, which I won't talk about. And I won't talk about Epstein drama, stuff like that. I won't talk about gun violence. I won't talk about shootings anywhere, high speed chases, anything like that. This is all no drama news, and it takes me a lot of time to do all this stuff, you guys. For me to filter out the BS, for you guys to have this good news program with no drama. So I do this Monday to Friday. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe if you want. I could use the views. Once I hit 1,000 subs, I'm gonna move this channel over to its own separate thing. That's what I kind of decided. And yeah, see you guys here Monday, Friday, 4 to 4:30 Central. And if I can do it in 30 minutes or less, that's fine. The rest is all BS. Okay. See you guys tomorrow. Or if you guys want to stick around, I'll be back at 4:30. So about 8 minutes, I'll be back. Okay. See you guys tomorrow. Waka 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 waka. Oh yeah.